Hey, it's BrickTsar. We're going to do some BrickTsar answer thingy questions. That's where I answer questions that people have left on previous videos. But before we get to that, I just want to update a couple of things. I did do a haul. I haven't been buying stuff here recently. I've been way too busy to buy anything, and I just don't like the prices of some of the sets that I do want, like the train set. But I had placed a bid on a Shop Goodwill auction, and I forgot about it, and nobody else bid on it, so I ended up winning that. So I'll show you what that is. And one of the Pablos I did recently, I left out a part, and so that's for Rick Roly Poly. I went back and rewatched the video, and it's interesting, the way I found out that I left the part out is I was picking somebody else's order, and the quantity that was left was wrong, and I was like, uh-oh. And so I went back and figured out, oh, that was from his order. And then I watched the video, and sure enough, I didn't pick the part. So sorry, Rick Roly Poly. At least you get another shout out, right? But that'll be going out Monday for you. But let's get to this very, very, very small haul, and then to your BrickTsar answer thingy question. So this package came from FedEx, and you see all these trays. This is where people have bought out the lots on a lot of things that we've had on those recent Pablos. And I basically, the day in the life of BrickTsar, as far as Lego goes, is all those Pablos. That's the only thing I've done, is we've taken care of orders. I haven't even refilled the trays yet or did anything. So I'm going to be taking these parts for the Millennium Falcon and Metal Beard. I think I mentioned that in another video, but I got to put those in those trays. All right, see, what do we have here? This is from Shop Goodwill. It is Euripides, or whatever you call it. It is pretty much, this looks like it's a very badly damaged box, but he is sealed in here. Set 8324 Galador. I think the bid on this was $4, but the shipping was like 3 times that. But for a sealed Galador set, yeah, it's pretty much sealed, even though the box is battle tested and damaged. Yeah, got that. So I'm working on, like a lot of other people now, working on getting all the Galador sets. So there's another one. Okay, so let's get to those questions that everybody's asking. The first is going to be from NinjaTanek. And I did a video at the beginning of the year, and I still need to do a follow-up of our top wanted sets that we're getting in 2018. And these are vintage sets, not 2018 sets. I have all of them except for one that I need to finish completing. I have all the bricks that go to that set, but that is set 810. And NinjaTanek asked, what is my favorite set from that list? And it is set 810, because that is my favorite set now, I think. It might be my all-time favorite set. I need to update that. I know I've mentioned the Brickyard and the Windmill as some of my top sets, but from that list, I would say 810 is my favorite. All right, this next question is from the Country Brickman, and it's a question that relates to both YouTube and to doing stuff with Lego. Well, actually, it is a YouTube question, but it's specifically, he asks about using the Bricklink logo and the Lego logo in the thumbnail. He said, do you have to obtain special permission? The short answer is, we really shouldn't use the Lego logo or the Bricklink logo as a thumbnail. But I think with the thumbnails on YouTube, as long as you're not, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a YouTube expert, but many people have been using the logo. The thing is not to present yourself as a representative of the Lego group or of Bricklink. And they could file a claim, I think. I think they could do that. But Lego has commented enough on people's videos that use the logo. I think they would be more concerned if you used their name in your channel name, something like that. So I think it's okay. I'm not 100% sure. Nobody's ever reached out to me and told me to take it down. And I think that's what would happen. I think if a company like Bricklink or Lego had a problem with it, they would just contact you and say remove it, and then you would just do that. So I don't think it's an issue, but I'm not an expert. Hey, this is a really good question. I like it. It's from Dustin Hughes. He said, did you fit your store to the space you had, or did you create a space for the store? Also, would you volunteer? Also, I would volunteer if you need a hand moving stuff around. I like that. So basically, the store was an afterthought. So nothing like this. I started the store in 2004. We lived in another house, but it was just sets, just sealed sets. So that wasn't an issue as far as where the store was in the basement. And so we moved here, and again, it was still an afterthought. I wasn't thinking of being a regular seller. I had sold a lot of stuff on eBay, and it was just sealed sets, other toys that I sold on eBay. So I never really had a dedicated section just for that. I did, as things grew, I ended up creating a shipping station, and it has evolved over time. I used to have things on a way far other end of the basement where all the boxes and things were, the shipping packages that I used. I had those in one area. I had the store in one area. I had everything was all over in different places. So we've experimented in the basement with a couple of different places. We had it on another room that's actually on the other side of this wall. That's where it was. For instance, when AFOL men came and all that, everything was over there. Then I didn't really like that setup, so we moved it over here. And this has worked out really well. So I've not built a specific area for the store. If I start it all over again, yeah, I might do that. Might have just a room dedicated. I do have one kid moving out, but I don't think I'm going to be using that room for the Bricklinks store. Actually, it wouldn't be big enough, actually. So no, I really don't want it to get too much bigger though, because I'd rather have it for the sets and the trains and things like that, not just for part storage, but it serves its purpose now. Geoff Glen asks, are there pieces in your Bricklink store you think will ever sell that you don't think will ever sell, maybe due to being too expensive or unpopular? I think the latter, or is it the former? I never know how to use the never do that. The ones that are too expensive, I can fix that just by lowering the price. The ones that are unpopular, there's not much you can do about that. So yes, it is possible that you could have parts that may take a long time to sell, but everything will sell at the right price eventually. And what I've done, and a lot of people probably didn't notice this because they don't check this, but I've gone through, I took all the oldest lots in my store. I searched by oldest lot, and I drastically marked those prices down. What I mean by oldest is these are things that hadn't sold in many, many, many years. They might have been sitting in the store for 10 years or more. So I reduced the price on those if they hadn't sold. And then, like all the used items, drastically cut the price on those as well. So that's what you do. If you have parts that don't sell, it's usually because they're overpriced or they're not popular, the two reasons you mentioned there, but at the right price, things will eventually sell. But for that reason, there are things I choose not to put in my store. I used to have Duplo in my store. There's not a big market for that, but even Duplo sold at times. But because of the space and things, I just don't like having a lot of Duplo. In fact, I don't even know if I got any Duplo in my store. There may be some pieces here or there, but I did remove a massive quantity of Duplo from my store. All right, this question is from Kapliger. I'm sorry if I messed your name up. They ask, what is your opinion of reissued Lego sets, and do you think the old modulars and big pricey sets like the Eiffel Tower will get a remake? I mentioned this in many videos. I probably could do a whole separate video just on this one topic, and probably could start a huge debate on it. But my personal opinion is remake anything that anybody would want. So I don't have a problem with it, except maybe like exclusive items, like if they did a special promotion. I'd feel bad for the people that got the Bat Pod and then Lego just sold the Bat Pod in stores. It would cause it to lose its specialness. But something like a modular or the Eiffel Tower that was freely available to anybody, yeah, I don't have any problem at all with Lego reissuing those. In fact, I wish Lego would reissue some. And a lot of the reissues end up being a little bit different anyway. Either the molds have changed or they do a change to how the set is actually built. But yes, I'm all for Lego bringing back the greengrocer, bringing back the cafe corner, the Eiffel Tower, and even much, much older sets. From the DB Rail fan, he says, what service or website do you use to calculate shipping for your orders? And has it ever happened that you realized after you mailed an order that some pieces slipped out of the envelope? I should have answered this question first, because that's what we had happen with Rick Roly Poly. Not that it slipped out of the envelope, I just totally forgot to put it in there. That's more likely to happen, that you just either pick the wrong part or not count the right quantity, something like that. I have had it happen where we've picked everything is correct, and then when you take the pieces out of these trays or whatever we're using to collect them while we're picking them, that you drop something and don't realize it. That has happened. I have like, oh, where did this piece come from? And then I search it and I'm like, oh, we dropped that, putting it into the envelope, or into a bag. So usually what I do is I put them in bags, and then the bags go inside the envelope, the padded envelope that we use. But as far as what website do we use, I've done this so much, and so many of the orders are small that you're just using the USPS.com rates. I don't actually go to a website. Everything's based on the shipping weight of the item. So as long as everything that's in the store has a weight assigned to it, the things that I have set up on Bricklink is going to automatically calculate that for the person when they go to checkout. So if it's 5 ounces, it'll add an ounce for the envelope, so it'll be 6 ounces, and that's what your shipping will be based on. If it gets higher than that, then you can choose things like a flat rate envelope or a flat rate box, things like that. So it's all pre-calculated based on the weight. But even before that method, I was pretty good at looking at an order, seeing how much it weighed, how big the parts were, and knowing what to charge people for shipping. It was all up here, because you do it so many times. It's just, everybody learns it. You learn what the rates are, and then when post office changes the rates, you just got to learn these new rates and do it. But I don't do it manually anymore. Although I kind of trust myself more than I do the calculation. We have had the wrong price charged before, but I can always fix that. If it undercharges, that's okay. It's when it overcharges by a lot, then yeah, you want to refund the buyer, because you don't want to leave a sour taste in their mouth where you charged them $20 for shipping and it only costs $5 to ship, something like that. That doesn't usually happen. I think I'll end it right there. I do have a few more back questions that we can consider. Even NinjaTanek asked, what is the oldest part in my store? That would have tied into the other question. And there's so many good questions here. What's the best way to sort parts? How to store Lego instructions. I did plan to do a whole video on that one day about instructions, but I haven't got around to it. But if you got any more questions, you put them in the comments below. Use the hashtag BAT, hashtag BAT, that stands for BrickTsar Answer Thingy, and I'll try to answer them in an upcoming video, including some of those that I just mentioned that I didn't answer. But that's enough for this video. I got another Bricklink order to pick, so I'm going to go get to it right now. See you in the next one. Bye.